Recording in progress.
Pretty solid win. It was a exciting win, and we've been prepping all week for this, and the boys deserve it.
You haven't had that many carries in a game this season. You haven't had a 100-yard rushing game since the season opener last year. What is the game you were carrying the load and being healthy for the first time?
Just trying to stay healthy, trying to stay available for my team when they need me, and just making the most out of it when I get every carry.
George, what was the biggest key to your individual success tonight?
For sure, the O-line up there, blocking their tails off. The play calling, Plow, he's been pretty phenomenal in the play calling, and just having my teammates, continue to push me and support me.
When you guys dominated this one from start to finish against a ranked team, sellout crowd, they're all leaving early. You guys are celebrating with the milk can after the game. I mean, how much fun was this?
It was great. It was great all around, offense and defense. It was really much improved compared to previous weeks. We both came out ready to go and having that mentality. We got to finish through all four quarters, and just emphasizing that the most physical team wins, and we're pretty physical out there today.
There's a late drive in the first half where you got 3 straight carries, moved the sticks every time. Jonah ended that drive with a field goal to put you guys up 13-0, I believe. No, I'm sorry, 16-7 at halftime. How big was scoring on that late drive?
It was pretty huge, having that momentum on offense, just trying to score points before half, just emphasizing tempo as an offense. And then our O-line was out there, getting a good push every play, and the defense didn't really adjust to it. So that same play, it kept hitting and hitting. And so, yeah.
What kind of statement did you guys make tonight, man? I know you're just taking it one game at a time, but you guys are still trying to stay in the Mountain West race, and every win matters. And to get a road win like this, when you're underdogs, what's it say about you guys?
Of course, coming into this game, we're the underdogs, and we also have that mentality where, we got to stay humble and hungry in everything we do. Just being able to be physical and, control the clock, run the ball, and, be able to RPO, and which we did.
How big is the defense? 3 turnovers for you guys tonight. I mean, they really played probably their best game of the year.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid defense up front. Number 32 he was a hell of a player. We give him props. It was really good defense. And
I know your defense.
Oh yeah, our defense is pretty solid too. I mean, yeah, but our defense showed up big time, of course. Holding them up to 14 points, and just showing up tonight and controlling, the run game, and being able to be physical up front. Corners, we had young cats like Nohi Kaniho out there doing his job and just stepping up big time.
George, what is it about this team? Why do you think you guys play so well on the road this year? We didn't start off how we wanted to, but we were able to respond in a positive way where everyone is still trying to get better each week. And as you can see, the run game, obviously, it started off a little slow, but it definitely got better each week. So, yeah.
Okay, we'll go to Rachel.
Hello, George. Good to see you this evening. Congrats on your 100-yard game, or 100-plus yard game, I should say. Because of that, you got to have another player that got to come in tonight that, doesn't get a lot of playing time. Tyler Crow started the season, as a walk-on, and then he gets a scholarship. So what was it like to watch him score his first touchdown tonight?
I mean, it was really exciting, to see Tyler Crow. He does that in practice every day. You have the same work ethic every day. So it's just something we expect of him. And he's definitely stepping up and trying to play more a role in this offense. And he's been taking advantage of every rep, and just seeing him is really exciting, especially tonight with his first touchdown.
Ron mentioned it a little bit, but there was that play or that drive towards the end of the second quarter when you ran for 10 yards and you ran for 15 and then you ran for 18 on back-to-back plays. Did you really start feeling, a rhythm tonight and start feeling like your old self in a way?
For sure. It was good to be back out there and, having those carries and continue to have more carries, which definitely gave me a rhythm to go out there and, do what I do. And just having our O-line and our tight ends up there up front, making big blocks and just being able to just read and react off the defense.
Jay, go ahead.
What's up, George? How we doing, man?
Good, and yourself?
I'm good, thanks. George, simply put, man, after all that you guys have been through this season, what's it like to be in that locker room right now, getting a chance to taste a victory like this?
It's exciting. Our offense and defense, like we've been working all week. We've been talking about this milk can trophy and what it meant to the university and what it meant to us and how big this rivalry is. And it's been exciting.
Earlier in the season, we just heard a lot about the little things not coming together for your team, whether it be preparation, execution, injuries. Do you feel like it finally all came together for you guys tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Just having that player-to-player self accountability and just able to just stay on top of each other's head, because we talk about loving our family, and what that means to us is player-to-player self accountability. Holding them to that standard. But yeah,
George, 23 touches, 186 total yards. You're almost 2 years removed since you had a night like that, at least in terms of statistics. When was the last time you had that much fun on a football field?
I always have fun, just being out there, my teammates, and just seeing them celebrate and do their thing. So I'm always finding joy in that and being joyful.
That wasn't a little more fun though?
Yeah, for sure.
George, congrats, man.
Sure, appreciate it.
All right, George, thanks for the time. Coach Avalos is in, sounds like, so we'll go to him next. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Recording stopped.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
You too.
What's up, guys? Your coach here.
Recording in progress.
Andy, same thing. We're going to go to the guys in the room first, and then we'll go to Zoom.
All right, sounds good. Who's up first? BJ, what you got, dog?
What just seeing your guys celebrate with that trophy and having a dominant game like that. How much fun was that tonight?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great to see them. It was great to see them work throughout the week. It was fun to see them work. Had a pretty good idea that they were going to be able to do this today because of how they worked throughout the week, their mindset, how they focused when we got down here, how they stayed committed to the plan, the job the coaching staff did with those guys, and nobody wavered from the plan starting, throughout the course of the week.
George had his first 100-yard rushing game since the season opener of 2020. What did you see out of him out there tonight, and how different is the offense when he's in there?
Yeah, he's obviously extremely talented in a lot of different ways. His vision, everybody talks about a running back's ability and, his quickness, his change of direction, his burst, his size, all that. But his vision is pretty elite, and his feel for how fronts are set, blocking schemes, and being able to find the weaknesses within the defense. And his, from there, he's extremely talented, and he's going to run behind his pads, and his second effort is, second to none.
Offense, defense, special teams. How much of a team win was this tonight?
Yeah, so a lot of times, we were just talking about how special teams, they just do their job and they don't get a lot of credit. Joel does a hell of a job punting the ball early on there and flips the field, and vice versa for us on our punt return team, we're able to create some great field position. Getting the ball near the logo about 3 times or so, and we get pressure on the punter. We don't block it, but then he shanks one a little bit later, and now we're sitting on the logo to start. And those things, sometimes go unnoticed, but field position is everything in this game. The hidden yards is everything in this game. We covered a ton of kickoffs, and the guys flew down there all the way to the end and punished the returner. And that's what it should look like. That's the consistency. It needs to be every time we get the opportunity to be on that field.
And it's, one of the best offenses in the country, and with the stats say it, the players say it. For you guys to have three turnovers, a fourth down stop, hold them to 14 points. I mean, how dominant was your defense tonight?
Yeah, it was the fourth down stop early on in the game. That was an unbelievable play. And you know what? It was an awesome play by JL to come through there and fit that thing up with the physicality he did and not get the knockback he did and do it the right way. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so that attributes to him and his focus this week and how the things he's doing, the things that coaches are doing to help this team keep growing forward. And the defense did an unbelievable job tonight.
And this is maybe your best game in terms of rush defense as well. What did you guys do to shut Ronnie Rivers down?
Well, it always starts with how you play at the line of scrimmage, number one, with your mentality, and then you got to be able to have some fundamentals and techniques to win one-on-ones at the line of scrimmage. And the guys, Coach Frank and Coach Miley and the crew, they've been working really hard. Coach Collins with the edge players, and it's been a huge emphasis. And we've gotten nothing but a bunch of questions about it for the last month and through all the bye week. And all we can do is keep working to get better and using these opportunities in the games to show how we're growing. And we're going to have another challenge next week. Wyoming always does a tremendous job running the ball.
What was the most enjoyable aspect of tonight's win?
How the guys stayed together and how persistent. At times there, things we go for it on fourth down. We didn't do a good job. Even with our own operation, on that situation, we get stuffed, and the guys' mentality didn't even waver. It didn't. And that was the best part to see right there, is that when something didn't go our way, it didn't faze them. And that's the way it's got to be. And that's what this game requires. And we'll use that as a learning example in many different ways, for us as coaches, for the players, the good and the bad that goes along with that.
I know we talked about the Canino brothers and how cool that was, but I guess you guys are looking it up, and so far only one other time in college football history have you found two brothers both having picks in the same game.
Oh, really?
To have both those guys get a pick like that, how cool is that?
Yeah, no, that's unbelievable. And I was standing right behind Kekala on his interception, and the coverage we were playing, I can see his eye progression. And that dude is such a stud, because that wide receiver, he telegraphed the route, and Kekala played it unbelievable. And that was such a big play to start the game, because that concept that they try to run there, if we don't stop that there, we're going to get it a bunch more times in the game. They're going at Nohe, taking those easy 5-yard throws. It's, single width on that side, and he's out there on an island by himself. And, the way he was playing it, we asked him to compete a little bit better. They kept taking it, chunking away. They weren't getting the run yards. So what was that becoming? Those 5 yards, 6 yards were becoming their run yards. And so we had to find a way to play that better on the outside. And we challenged him to compete better against those guys. Not only did he do that, he came up, had some great tackles, and then he intercepted a ball. That's what competitors do. They respond. And it was awesome.
You guys were 3-4 at the bye, and you had 2 road games coming up, tough road games after that. I mean, it was obviously a daunting final, stretch here. What's it mean to?
It still is. It's not over.
But I mean, in 8 days to win 2 Mountain West road games, and it seems like the feeling's a little different now than a week and a half ago. I mean, what can you say about these last 2 weeks, what you guys have done?
Well, I mean, like we said in the bye week, through all the questions, I mean, the bye week was some of our best practices since we've been here. We made a decision as a program, and again, you guys know what it is. I'm not going to share everything that goes on in our family. I'm not going to. Okay. Some things are meant to be kept in our house and for our team. And we made a decision in our family about how we're going to do things and how we're going to go forward and what everyone's responsibility is to the family. And the guys have done an unbelievable job with that. The coaches, the equipment staff, the trainers, and everybody involved. And we've got to continue to keep building off of that.
Let's go to the Zoom.
Okay, Jay and Rachel, let's go one each in case we get short on time. Jay, go ahead.
Thanks, appreciate it. About to jump on air here. Congrats, Andy.
Thanks, buddy.
Andy, we talked about, again, getting back to like the little things and how those stacked up against you at one point in time. And now, we watch you guys play, and it just seems so obvious of maybe what you were missing at some point in time, whether it be, injuries, execution, preparation. How much did it all come together for you and your grand vision for this program tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was, that's what we're building. You know, and it's going to take a lot of work. It's not done yet. This isn't us going to be next week. It's not just going to be us the following week. It's not just, it takes time to do this over and over. It takes time to commit yourself to doing this each and every single day. And when we talk about reestablishing the foundation, that's what we're talking about. And how we commit ourselves to this program, playing for this program being bigger than ourselves, and to be a part of something that's bigger than you. And the guys have done that in the last 3 weeks, the focus of the team, the commitment from each individual. And again, not just the players, but everybody in the building, the trainers, the equipment guys, obviously the coaches, and how physical and for the most part, how disciplined the team was tonight. We got to keep building on that.
Andy, appreciate it. You'll be live in front of Boise in like 3 minutes.
Gotta go. Work, bud. Sorry to keep you. BJ was asking all the questions over here, man. It's his fault.
We always love to blame BJ. I might go out on a limb here a little bit with this question. So I know it's not totally, no, not a bad thing, but it's not totally uncommon. But the lateral from Bachmeyer to Shakir, was that kind of a ode to what Kellen Moore performed in that Cowboys game over the weekend? Did you guys look at that and say, hey, let's give it a try?
Well, we did it last week. I mean, we did it last week similar to that. I was more worried that we just did it and it was too early to do it again. But yeah, I told Shaq, I'm like, sorry, bud. I love you, but you can't throw like Ced Wilson. And Ced Wilson was a quarterback prior to. Shaq did play some quarterback in high school, but he was a Wildcat quarterback. So Ced's play, we did see that the other night. That was awesome. What they dialed up with Callan. And yeah, it was there was a lot of things in the plan for Shaq tonight. That was one of them. And it's being able to get him the ball in as many ways as possible, make sure, number one, he gets his touches, we're moving him around, as well as a few other guys, you know, that have shown to be extremely productive when they get the ball in their hands. But ultimately, you know, it comes down to all the guys around them as well. The O-line's got to do their job. And, you know, everybody wants to talk about, you know, the guys that run for all the yards and catch all the balls and throw all the balls. But bottom line is that O-line is our team. That's the mentality of our team. We needed them huge tonight, and they came through. I believe, how many did we give up? One sack? How many?
There was one on Jalen and then one on Hank.
Yep. So Taylor, one on Taylor. So we gave up 2 sacks. I think we had how many? 5?
Season high 5.
5. We had 5 sacks, right? So that was the big deal for the O-line, you know, not only in the run game, but to protect our quarterback. And they did an unbelievable job with that tonight. And, you know, that's 2 weeks in a row. We can't stop there. We got to, again, they are the mentality of our team, both our fronts.
All right, Andy, appreciate the time. Congrats on the big victory.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Recording stopped.
Who else are we getting, Craig? Oh, you're muted.
I believe Jonah's coming in.
Oh, okay, Donna. All right.
Yeah.
Recording in progress.
Jonah, we'll go with the guys in the room first, and then we'll come to Rachel on Zoom. So if there's anybody there, I'll ask you questions. I think we might have muted you, though.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll go to the guys in the room first.
Solid.
Is anybody there still?
No, correct. They're out. So
okay. So it's Rachel and Jonah. All right. Sorry. All right, Rachel, go ahead.
Well, sorry, Jonah. It's been a long time since I've talked to you, since high school, man.
I know.
Good to see you. I'm good, thank you. So my first question for you, totally unrelated to the game, but did you hear about the high school kid from Highland who hit a 58-yarder last night? You know, how tough is that? And what did you hear about it?
Yes, I did. I watched the video too because Tyler Rasa has been very active working with all the kickers locally in Idaho. So I was able to see that video on social media, and man, I was impressed. I saw that, and he still had plenty more distance on that kick too. So I was just like, man, he definitely went up to me from high school.
So did Tyler help you at all too growing up? Did Tyler ever coach you?
No, he didn't coach me until I started when I came to Boise State.
Oh, okay.
And then like slowly we got some tips in, and he was able to kind of guide me through it and help me along. So, but never when I was in high school, I didn't receive any help from him. No.
So 4 field goals tonight for you. I think a season long, right? The 47-yarder at the beginning.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, how good does it feel to be able to contribute to this team in that way and know that, you know, those early points were crucial to them getting some momentum?
It was great. You know, my mentality is I'm doing it for my brothers. You know, this game is a family united game that we all have to execute in our positions in order for us to have that success and come out with that big win that we just did. So I'm just grateful that my teammates have that trust in me to go out and execute that kick, and I'm grateful that we were all able to do our job so that we can get points on the board.
I know this is a little bit unrelated to what you do, but your defense tonight, you know, they had 5 sacks, 3 interceptions. It's something that hasn't happened for the Boise State program since 2008. You know, what did you think of their performance, and why do you think they, you know, were able to have such a rare performance tonight?
That performance was everything. You know, we definitely need all those crucial stops that we got in order to get our offense back on the field and keep putting points on the board. So, I mean, a huge shout out to the defense because they all did their jobs. They did it effectively, efficiently. We were all juiced, and we kept that energy throughout the whole entire game. And I think that was definitely one of the biggest things is when we keep that energy on the field, then we'll be able to execute and do our jobs a lot better. So I definitely think that the defense was a huge part of creating great field position for us, but not only getting our offense back on the field so that we can keep getting points on the board.
As a local kid, you probably understand the joy that Tyler Crow got to experience today,
Yeah.
you know, getting his first career touchdown, you know, so is it a little bit more special to see somebody like that, knowing where he came from and knowing that you came from, you know, the same background?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, even being the last touchdown that we got in that game, you know, he acted like it was his first, and it was his first, but like we acted like it was the beginning of the game, scoring that first touchdown. We all got hyped, and it was really good to see how happy that he was, because he works hard every single day to get where he's at right now. So, I mean, seeing his excitement was definitely just spectacular to see, and I'm glad that he was able to punch that ball in the end zone.
Craig, is somebody else going to show up?
Rachel, you can keep going as long as you want him.
I could probably get one more in here for you. Your team has performed so well on the road, 14 straight games on the road where you guys have won. You know, is there something about the road that makes you guys better or makes you guys perform better from your perspective?
You know, it's definitely a mentality. We go in there and there's a mission that we have, and we want to complete the mission, and we know all the things that we need to do to complete that mission. You know, we work all week and prepare for the moment to go on the field and be able to execute. And so going on the road, it's a different vibe, just because, you know, we're going to someone else's house. We know how it is for somebody to come in our house and beat us on the blue. So, you know, we wanted to go, and every away game, we wanted to just be able to perform. You know, every game we should have that mentality to perform, but it's a different feeling when you go and do it on somebody else's field.
Yeah, especially when they start leaving in the fourth quarter.
That's exactly right. We love to
you guys
see
emptied the stadium. That's all I have for you. Jay would have asked you questions too, but I guess he had to go live right before you came on. So
gotcha.
We weren't ignoring you on purpose.
No worries. No worries.
Great game.
We got the guys back in here now. If anybody in person wants to get something.
Okay, no problem.
Will, Jonah, offense, defense, special teams. How much of a team win was tonight?
Oh, it was everything. I know everybody had to do their jobs in order for us to get this win for sure. And that's when we're really able to see like who the Broncos really are. You know, we're able to come in, everybody executed the job, they did it. And we had that energy while we were doing it. And I thought that was the most important thing. So when we all do our jobs and we're all on the same page, then the Broncos are dangerous for sure.
What's this? We've talked to you before, but what's this mean to you to have the type of season you're having, being a local kid, and just kind of keep rolling what you did last year into this year, and only 2 missed field goals all year? And I'm sure you never like getting one off the board, but when you hit the penalty, you end up getting a touchdown out of it. So I'm sure you're okay with that.
No, for sure. I'm definitely grateful that we were able to get more points off of that for sure. I mean, I was just happy that I was still able to make it. I mean, even if we didn't catch the penalty, we'd still regardless have points on the board. So I was grateful that I was able to get that clean kickoff before getting that contact. But I mean, it's amazing. It's definitely a blessing. I give God all the glory. And I'm just grateful from the support from my family, my teammates, my coaches, the community. All that just plays a big role, and especially being a local kid, having all that support definitely allows me to have that confidence that I need to go out and execute those field goals.
We got 47 yarders season long on the first one.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, that one felt amazing. Had great contact on the ball. It was a little bit scary because we were rushing onto it, so I had to take my steps pretty faster than I usually had to. But again, I was just grateful that I was able to meet that clean hit and be able to help my brothers.
All right, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Greg.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Jonah.
Appreciate it.
Recording stopped.
Rachel, that's everybody. So I'll send the file shortly.
Joe, do you know if we're able to just stay in
Okay,
work?
awesome.
Thanks.
Are you still working to confirm that one's the brother stat?
Yeah, Walsh was looking at it. I'm looking at it, but so far we haven't come up with anything. So
We can always kind of write around it or say or rare, thing. But
yeah, we might. We can hit up the NCA and see if they have anything just in their rare archives.
okay.
I will send them an email shortly. They're usually up late. Obviously, they'll have to be up because they're waiting on Hawaii and all that stuff tonight. So they might get back to us tonight too.